Hey, I am excited today to have Luke with Avalaunche Media with me today. Luke is a VP of marketing over there. We've been connected a long time on social. I stole someone from Avalaunche that Luke worked with, and she's on my team now.
Good
Luke
one.
is also based in Utah, and I think is the first Utah guest I've had, which is a lot of fun. Hopefully, many more in the future. But Luke has some great background in marketing and working with lots of different companies and consulting and also leading at Avalaunche. So I thought he'd be a good guest to have on today. Luke, if you wouldn't mind kind of telling us a little bit about yourself, going through some of your background, and then we can kind of roll into a customer experience discussion.
Sure. Yeah. Well, it's good to be on, Joe. And it's a small world in the Utah agency and digital space. So even though you might have stole someone, no hard feelings. It happens. Hopefully Miley's there. Hi, Miley. Hopefully you're. Maybe she'll listen at some point. We miss
Probably.
her. She was awesome. Is awesome. But no, yeah, my background. So I'm vice president of strategy here at Avalaunche. I was the first employee here back in 2012. I came from a small little agency up in Idaho. That's where I went to school, and came down here to Utah to the big city, and kind of took a chance here with the Avalaunche. We were Dream Systems Media at the time, and I knew the guys here: Dave Mink, Matt Siltala, Andy Melchior, Jason Colum. Those were the founders and owners, and just took a shot at what I thought would be a right move, and it's panned out. We're about 50 strong right now, and just steady growth here. We're a full service digital agency, and we help actually more clients outside of Utah than in Utah. We kind of work with more medium, large size businesses. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now. Went to school at BYU Idaho for my undergrad. I got my master's at University of Utah. I'm kind of a busybody. It's hard for me to sit still, so I'm like always doing something on the side. I just taught at BYU for a year in their digital marketing department. I've taught some other online places, spoke at a lot of places. Just kind of like being out there and like helping as much as I can. Got 4 kids that keep me busy. I stopped teaching at BYU to try to get some more balance in my life and spend some time with my family and wife. And it's been a nice couple months, actually. I was working out this morning. I haven't been able to work out in the morning for a while, and start to show a little bit. And so yeah, I'm kind of getting a little bit more balance. But yeah, that's a little about me.
That's awesome. I've resisted teaching to this point. I've had some opportunities at Utah and BYU, and yeah, I've been actually a couple of them were like, I'm going to be out of town. This was when I was at Adobe. It's like, I'm going to be gone to San Jose like 3 of the 8 weeks. Is that a problem?
No,
yeah, that's probably not going to work. Maybe we'll connect later. So that's fun.
It's fulfilling, and that's a big shout out to Avalaunche that they allow me to do stuff like that and arrange my schedule for that. But it's a good change of pace from the corporate life and kind of agency in particular. You're busy, and there's always something to do, and it's fulfilling in a lot of ways. But kind of teaching students, kind of passing stuff on, it's fulfilling in different ways too. And it was hard, but yeah, Joe, you're gonna love it. Once you do it, you'll love it.
Yeah, I definitely go speak quite a bit and mentor a lot of MBAs and other people. Yeah, so that's I can only imagine. I think it'll be fun.
Exactly it.
So, we live in a world full of distractions. You're in agency life, which there's, Adobe used like hundreds of agencies, maybe even thousands. How have you been able to kind of set yourself apart? How can you stand out with providing a good customer experience and other things that Avalaunche has been able to do?
Yeah. So we've the best way I describe it is we've tried to focus on relationships. I've done that in my own life and personally, and then it's kind of a philosophy that Avalaunche follows too. There's a book actually that I just read. I have it right here. I don't think it's even published. You can't find this on Amazon. It's called Brand Orbits. Plug this. I'm not getting paid for this or anything. But a client mentioned this in the last year, and brand orbit stands for relationships, or orbit stands for ongoing relationships beyond individual transactions.
Okay. Nice.
Ongoing relationships beyond individual transactions. The idea being you kind of shift your mentality from, hey, what's in it for me as a business? How am I making money? Yes, I'll provide you something, but you need to provide me something first. That's kind of the typical, I guess, corporate idea. But there's a lot of brands that are shifting to that philosophy of you just try to create a relationship. And there's kind of a framework of doing that and different principles that he talks about. But the main idea is just that relationship, and that can show in the type of marketing that you do. It goes from like a push strategy to a pull, right? Rather than try to get out in front of them, which is expensive. You kind of pull them in, and people start talking about you, right? You go from transactions to relationships, like I talked about. You go from creating an audience, which we hear about all the time in marketing, to creating more of a community. And so we've tried to do that here at my agency. Again, like I said, personally, I try to do that too. We're actually doing an event next week. It's a free event. It's we partner with Google because of our relationship there, and we do it twice a year. And we'll go skiing. We take our clients and kind of friends skiing on Thursday. And then on Friday, we put on a full-blown conference, and we've got some fantastic speakers. We got Adam Durfee from BYU. We have, I probably shouldn't have started going down the list, because now
now you're not gonna forget someone.
Order we have from San Diablo Tacos. He does a lot of customer experience consulting too. We have the CEO of Freshly Picked. She just spoke at Silicon Slopes. We have Adam Reeder. He's Professor Rock. So anyway, point being, it's a free conference, and we invite our clients there. We invite the community, our friends, and it's just something we try to kind of give back. And in the end, it benefits Avalaunche too, because of that framework that I talked about, the brand orbits. And so we do that in different ways too. We do it internally with our own people. Try to build them up, try to educate. We do a lot of learning opportunities and networking opportunities. We're involved in Utah DMC. Our director of PPC just spoke there. And that's something that our company encourages, is just like, let's get out. If you want to speak somewhere, like, we'll support you, we'll help pay for it. We'll give you design resources to create a nice slideshow. And so yeah, there's a lot of learning opportunities that we try to do within and without Avalaunche to just build that relationship.
That's really cool. With kind of building relationships from, let's say, from like acquisition through customers you've had for a decade, what do you feel is kind of the DNA of a good customer experience along that way? Obviously, you mentioned relationships and kind of building that up. What are kind of like additional things that you try and focus on to make sure that they, stay as a customer for a long time?
Yeah. It starts with the people here at Avalaunche. Again, going back to the relationships, we try to hire a certain type of person and kind of preach a certain relationship type. And I would say like the core of that is just caring. It sounds like really funny. It sounds simple, like it's a principle, like there should be something more profound about it. But when you care about the people on the other side, it really changes the type of work that you do. And it goes from like, okay, I have to check these boxes to I get to check these boxes, right? And we still, process is a really important part of that customer relationship. You have to have that type of framework, but people can sense on the other end how you're feeling and if you're truly invested in it and if you care. And so it's like it's a soft skill, but it's an important skill to help the team create that relationship, to have that good customer experience. And so, yeah, that's probably how I describe it. It's just it's caring. It's the human side of it. It's it's knowing that on the other end, it's not just a business, but it's people, right? And these people have jobs they want to do. They have goals they need to meet. They have stresses. They lose sleep at night. Just like we lose sleep at night.
Sure.
And so how do we support them? How do we kind of see past just the, hey, this is a paid relationship, to no, let's like help each other out. How do we go above and beyond? And so yeah, that's one thing we've done actually, is rather than call our clients and say, hey, this is X company, but it's like, no, this is Karen. And she is a person, and she is, there's more to it than just like a name there of a company. And it's a small little thing. It's one of many things that we do, but it kind of helps see past that, hey, this is just another client that we're working on, but no, it's actually a person on the other end.
That's awesome. Yeah. So it really brought up kind of like a top down, cultural thing where Avalaunche is really trying to preach at the top customer experience, and that funnels down into the design team and the PPC team, and the social team, and whoever other resources you're providing to customers.
Yeah, totally.
Cool. How do you think, we live in a world full of Zoom and social media and tools like Cloud App that can help you create visuals and video. How do those things help enhance the experience of just like a text-based interaction?
Yeah, we use it so much, and I've been thinking about this the last couple of weeks as we've been prepping the talk, and noticing how much we try to go from text or even just a phone call to something visual. One thing we'll do frequently is actually just do a screen recording of a tool, or maybe going through a Google Ads account or going through Google Analytics or something else. But we just basically walk through and we say, hey, we need to show what we're talking about, and let us walk you through it, rather than maybe do a screenshot, which we do screenshots too. But even just a screen recording can take some principle you're talking about, and that can be hard to explain. And maybe you're like doing multiple phone calls and just say, hey, let us just grab this for you real quick. So we do that very, very frequently. I mentioned screenshots. We're taking screenshots constantly. I had to add another shortcut to my Mac, where I have a not grab a screenshot and save it, but just grab a screenshot so I can paste it, because I just do that so much. And so yeah, it enhances that, because you can take paragraphs to try to explain something or jump on multiple phone calls. But if you can just show them what you're talking about, it takes it to another level. Another thing that's probably worth mentioning is video for us is really important. Like we're talking right now. I can see your face. I can see your reactions. You're nodding. You're kind of like saying, "Hey, yeah, I'm listening to you." Right?
Yep.
We make a big emphasis to do that with our clients also, and so we use Zoom right now. And when we do our calls with them, it's always a Zoom recording, and we try to have our camera on as much as possible. It's been a shift actually for the team. I think sometimes you feel a little uncomfortable in front of the screen, but it's very different than a phone call where you can't see their face and you can't kind of see that nonverbal communication. And it's one of those things to help create a relationship that's stronger, right? It's something like I can see Joe here, and like, I see what he's wearing. I see like did his hair today, like he's looking good. It's like that too, like, hey, Avalaunche is trying to present themselves professionally, and so kind of it goes both ways. But it seems like a little thing maybe to some people, but being able to see each other face to face, even when you're not I shouldn't say face to face, see each other like on a screen when you're not face to face, it really makes a difference in how that interaction happens.
Yeah, there's such a value with like the real time. Like at Adobe, I was part of kind of the shift to those audio phone calls where everyone kind of logs in and is just on the phone, to like the shift to using Blue Jeans as kind of like video was the standard. And then, I loved screen recording so much to connect with like my global distributed team that I was working with. Screen recording that Cloud App provided, that I decided to join the company. So there's so much value in like the async and synchronous communication, and kind of finding ways to combine those two, exactly to your point.
Totally. Yep. Totally agree.
I kind of want to shift just a teeny bit for more personal for you. What is kind of a recent experience you had with a company that made you more loyal or made you, want to communicate something on a podcast about them?
Yeah, I would say this company is at the top of a lot of people's customer experience list.
Sure.
If you're listening in, they do fast food, and everyone talks about them for the experience that you get there. It's Chick-fil-A, and yeah, I have kids at the beginning, and so the kids love the food there. It's good food, it's a comfort food, of course.
Sure. Yep.
I need to eat a little bit less of it. But yeah, we were there on Saturday. Actually, we went up to the Off-Road Expo up in Sandy at the event center there. Came back, grabbed some food. I went through the drive-thru. I was with my family. It's kind of chaos. It's like, who wants what? And like,
yep.
You want apple juice or do you want chocolate milk? Or, we don't mention the French fries to the kids, or like French fries is an option, right? You only get fruit, and they have applesauce. They have like macaroni, some like better sides. And they asked my name at the drive-thru when they were, can I get a name for the order? I kind of forgot about it in like the chaos that they'd asked for that. But I pulled up to the window and they said, "Hey, Luke, is this your right order?" Or like they kind of confirmed it. And I was like, I said my name. Like it was a little thing, but it really caught me off guard, probably because I compared it to other experiences at restaurants, and I can't think of any other, even like a fancy sit-down restaurant or where I'm paying way more, but especially not like McDonald's or other places. It's just not that experience there. And I was like, wow, like that person cares about me. But I mean, did they really? Like, it was part of a process. The person had asked it, typed it in the computer. I'm sure they do it to every person coming down the window, but it really felt different. It felt like they cared. I think back to like one of my first like business books was 7 Habits of Highly Effective. I think it's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Mm-hmm.
And in it, maybe it's not that one. It's by Dale Carnegie.
How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah, that's it. How to Win Friends and Influence People. And in it, he talks about everybody's favorite word in the world. Everyone has a favorite word. It's the same favorite word. It's the same thing, and it's our name.
Yep.
When someone can say, "Hey, Joe, like awesome to see you. Like, thank you for your order." Da 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 da. Like just hearing your own name, it like kind of gives you a shot of endorphins and just makes you feel good. And so, Chick-fil-A is onto something there. It was a really small thing, but it just, as I was thinking about it, I was like, yeah, that's like, it was small, but it actually made a difference. It stuck out in my mind.
Yeah. It's kind of like that personalization in the analog world versus digital world that kind of breaks up the noise. Like you said, it's like, I had a chance to stay at some like nice hotels on Adobe's dime a couple of times that I probably wouldn't be able to just on my own. And I can't remember which one, so I'm not going to call it out, but I, pulled up in my rental car and I had my luggage and they said, checking in, what's your name? And I gave them my name. And then I walked into the lobby and the person at the front desk was saying Mr. Martin, like as I was walking up, so they like did some MacGyver like CIA move where they're like talking in their microphone, like Mr. Martin's coming in the lobby right now, like
red shirt.
Yeah, right. So there's like just that little touch was really cool, and is something that it doesn't take a lot of effort, but provides a lot of value.
And that's what I was just going to say. It feels like those things don't require a significant amount of work for it to happen, right? We kind of know how they did it, right? The person at the front like asked your name and then they radioed in or whatever. But it's funny that more companies almost don't take advantage of it because it's like the cherry on top, but that cherry on top really it takes it from here to here with not a proportionate amount of effort.
Luke, it's been a great conversation today. I wanted to ask you one kind of final parting thing. Yep. Look into your crystal ball at your office there in Avalaunche. What do you think is the future of experience business? Where do you think we're kind of moving with customer experience? What is your bold prediction on where we're going?
I see there being a lot more maybe software or ways to enable these experiences that we talked about, right? So hotels, for example, I'll just take that example.
Yep.
I could see more hotels having something like that, right? Where from the beginning, they ask your name and there's some sort of way to enable this type of experience that people don't really, I would say the average consumer doesn't know what's going on behind the scenes, but it happens like magic to them. And maybe it's the house cleaners are writing a note. It's Mr. Martin, thank you for right. And your run of the mill type hotels will start doing that. And I could see that going from like the top tier of businesses starting to trickle down to more and more businesses as it becomes facilitated more easily through these types of technologies. And I just see it starting to like permeate business more, just because I think it's a distinguishing factor, where I think more businesses have to adopt it. They're going to realize it's not just the product, it's not just what we deliver itself, but it's the experience that goes along with it. It seems like there's kind of a trend just going towards it. More people are talking about customer experience and how important that is. And so, those companies that are adapting it sooner will have an advantage. And I think more and more companies will see that is one of those distinguishing factors.
Ongoing relationships beyond individual transactions. Was that it? Orbit? Nice.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good memory. Awesome. Well, thank you, Luke. Such great thoughts on customer experience and cool stuff going on over at Avalaunche. Thanks for your time today, and let's do it again soon.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, Joe.